Hi, I'm Patrick Johnson. The date is November 18th, 2015. I have been observing inclusion classes in Oceanside School District in Long Island, New York. Every teacher needs to know how to teach in an inclusion classroom. An inclusion classroom is a classroom that combines both general ed and special ed students in one room. Many students have trouble focusing and paying attention. This is especially true for students with special needs, so as inclusion teachers we must be prepared to deal with these issues. Now let's hear some teaching strategies from a real inclusion class teacher.
Hi, I'm Patricia Johnson. I've been teaching for 31 years and I teach an integrated chorus class in the middle school level. Most of my chorus classes are fairly large, so in an integrated setting I spend a lot of time doing routine matters. In the beginning, the child knows exactly what is expected of them. They come into the room, they get their folder, and they sit down. In order to keep them focused, especially those that have trouble staying focused, we have special positions for sitting and standing. I call numbers and I will frequently mix them up. For example, number 1 is standing, position 1 is standing, sitting, ready to sing. Position 3 is relaxed seating. I will frequently switch positions around. I will call them and say position 1, position 3, position 2, position 3, just to get them focused on the lesson coming up. After taking attendance, generally what I will do is I will do some kind of an activity where they have to follow what I do without speaking. I usually do this with hand gestures or some form of clapping, but it's usually hand gestures, almost like follow the leader, where I will try to trick them. They have to move, and I talk to them, but they are not allowed to speak. I'll be talking and moving my hands, and it keeps them focused on what I'm doing. I use this also sometimes when between songs, if they are losing focus as to what they're doing, I'll stop and I'll do something like that. Another technique is I will tell them between songs that they should talk about a song, what's going on, and to review lyrics with their neighbor. I give them permission to talk to their neighbor, and when the chord on the piano plays, they are to stop talking immediately. Whether or not they talk to their neighbor is not the point. The point is that they have a few minutes of downtime that's structured. And then at that point, when the chord plays again, we move on to the next song. It cuts down tremendously on just the constant talking that happens in large classrooms, and it helps the child who has trouble focusing. It gives them a break.
Prompting and cueing are two of the most prominent techniques Ms. Johnson relies upon. Prompts and cues are ways to get students to focus on or refocus on the lesson that you are teaching. Prompts and cues can either be physical, gesticular, verbal, written, or visual. Here is an example of a verbal cue. One example with cueing is a do now. It gets students ready to learn and focused on learning and the task at hand. Katie, can you tell me what you know about Alexander Hamilton?
Alexander Hamilton, in 1781, was the Battle of Yorktown. Lafayette was in Chesapeake Bay. Yeah.
We don't need no education.
Okay, class, time to get started. Katie, can you please read to us a chapter about communism?
No, I
Katie,
can't.
don't throw the book. That was an example of aberrant behavior. An aberrant behavior is behavior you do not want to see in your classroom. Other examples include physical violence, rude and disruptive behavior, and ignoring any and all instruction given by the teacher. One technique we can use to stop aberrant behavior is the if-then system. It is a reward system where you introduce the concept of immediate reward after the unpleasant task. This makes a student more likely to comply with directions and learn stuff. Let's try the if-then technique in action. Katie, if you write the paragraph about communism, then you can have 15 minutes of coloring time. Does that sound okay to you?
15 minutes?
15 whole minutes of coloring, but you have to write the whole paragraph. Katie, are you done with your paragraph?
I did it.
You did it? Very good job, Miss Katie. Now you can color.
I love
Another highly effective technique that can be used in an inclusion classroom is preferential seating. Preferential seating is seating a student close to the teacher's desk so that a teacher can help them when they need it and minimize distractions for the student. Color coding class materials is a great way to help all students stay organized, but especially students with memory issues, because the visual cue of the different colors allows students to access all their work in a quick and efficient manner. Hi, I hope you have enjoyed this video on teaching in an inclusion classroom and some of the issues you might face in this classroom and how to resolve them. Thank you and have a good night.